everyone. I hope you're doing well in the midst of all the chaos that's happening out there in the world. I just posted a blog to Playground related to schedules. And before you think that I'm thinking just of children and their at-home learning right now, I'm not. This is really something for families and for adults as well. It's titled something like Humans Need Schedules, I think, which is so true. So I encourage you to read that if you're feeling a little bit crazy at home. It's very easy to start to feel like our days just kind of blend into one another. We kind of become aimless, and that is not good for our spirit. And that's something that schedules can really help us with, is when we take responsibility for shaping our own days by planning and intentionally creating what we want the day to be, tend to just feel a lot more satisfied. So this was the schedule I made for myself this morning. I start the day with a little bit of meditation. That's something that just feels important to me. Just take a few minutes, listen to some ohms, and just set an intention for the day. I do just a little bit of writing, like 10 minutes, and then I write out what I'm going to eat for the day. That's kind of a weird one, but it's important for me because I'm a part of OA, Overeaters Anonymous, and that's part of the work that I do to make sure that I'm not engaging in trigger eating behaviors, especially at a time like this where there's additional stress. So that's a part of my morning. And then after I've done that kind of spiritual work, then I move on and I do some exercise. And so for me this morning, I decided to do a little bit of yoga and then some walking on my treadmill. Then I shower and put on my makeup. This, again, creating your schedule is very personal. And for some of you, I've talked to a lot of people who, I'm not getting ready in the morning. I just, I like being in my pajamas, and that's great. I think there's something to be said for getting up and getting ready. If you're somebody who needs that to tell your body, hey, I'm still alive, I'm still creating, I'm still doing meaningful things. Because I think sometimes if we go to sleep and wake up in the same outfit or the same state, that we can start to inadvertently tell our mind what we're doing isn't important, there really isn't any distinction, there's no variety. So none of this is a mandate. None of this is meant to make anybody feel guilty. Like if working out isn't part of your jam, then fine, forget that part. If you want to wake up late instead of early, awesome. If you want to wake up early instead of late, awesome. Whatever works for you. That's the point of creating a schedule. So anyway, I go through that, and then I have like a work time. And this right now is part of that work time. And then next on my schedule is lunch, so I'm going to get that going. And then I tank in the afternoon. I am an early bird, which is kind of a rare type. I feel most comfortable getting things done from about 6 a.m. to about now. And then I'm kind of toast mentally. So I'm going to just relax and read after lunch. Just chill, appreciating that time. For some of you, that's like when you start to be productive. You spent the morning relaxing because that's what you needed to do. And again, it's really important not to push yourself into routines that are not meaningful to you and that do not fit with your natural tendencies. There are moments in the day, there are time periods in which your body is more awake and more alert, and it's important to know when those are so that you can create schedules around that. It's the same thing for your children. If you have children, I do this as a teacher at school. Most of my students, by late afternoon, they're done. So that's when we spend our time on what I call a genius hour. They get to self-select activities. So they have all related to math, reading, writing, science, whatever we're doing. But it's based on their own energy level and their own ability to comprehend and take in information. They self-select. So anyway, as you're creating your own structure, also in that article or whatever it is, my little blog post, I I gave just a suggestion of a child schedule as well, but you can, I mean, there's that one sample, Google a kid's day schedule, or I mean, there's so many resources out there. Just think about what makes sense for you, for your kid. If you're trying to keep somebody busy at home, there are countless resources. If you can't find any, don't know where to start, send me a message. I will hook you up. But I mean, the abundance of resources is never ending when it comes to ideas for keeping people occupied, adults and children alike. So anyway, I'm going to move on with my day here, move on to lunch, and then the other things, checking some email in the afternoon, because that's a low need for intelligence to check email. And then, go for a walk and do some other things, and then make dinner, and I get ready for bed early because I'm up early. So I hope that you will take the time during this breath, during this pause in our living situation, to reflect on your body's natural rhythms, and to really make the most of this time, and not to let the days slip away, not for the sake of productivity. Who cares about productivity? For the sake of your own wellness, for the sake of joy, for the sake of creativity, and that of your family. So I invite you to play with routine and structure today. I'd love to hear the ideas and thoughts that you have, and I will see you all next time. Wishing you all well.